on? Todd Sawdust, dude. Welcome back for another episode. Hey, we're in a customer's house. Actually, we're in their bathroom, and we got a problem with the ground fault outlet. See how the cover's all busted up, and the problem is they've been plugging this in, and it's finally broken that receptacle cover. So how do you fix that? So that's what we're going to talk about today, real quick and easy to fix to make your bathroom beautiful again. Hey, the first thing we want to do is make sure that the power is off. This is a ground fault receptacle, and yeah, you don't want to put your finger in there, but this is a little tester, a receptacle tester that a lot of home inspectors use, and you can just plug that in and see when both of those lights come on, that means you've got a correct circuit, so we know that the wiring is good in there, and so that we also, before we start messing with this, and we want to make sure it's off, that the power is killed to this receptacle. Also, this is another little tester. I call these guys sniffers, but it's a little voltage alert, and it'll go off like that and the light cuts on. And on the right side over here, that's the black wire, and that's where the lead wire, where the power comes in. Over here on the left, it will not go off because that's the neutral side. If you look at wiring, that'll be the white wire, and of course this is the ground, and that's just the copper line. So you have your lead wire, which is always hot on this side, and the neutral and ground. So let's kill the power. Well, one of the things that you want to do is obviously cut the power off to this particular outlet, and you'll need somebody at the breaker box. And if it's not marked real well down at the breaker box, you know, you'll have to have that helper, and you can take this and pop it in here and start screaming at them, okay, hit it, next, 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 not that one, next, next. And you can go through that process if you have a helper. But a lot of times I'm working by myself, or you may be by yourself. And an easy way to do it is just take a hair dryer and plug it in, cut it on, and that way you can hear it running. And that way, if you're in the next room and you pop the breaker to this outlet, this will cut off, and you know that there's no more power to this outlet. Yeah. I cut it back on. Alright, cool deal. The hair dryer method really was the best method for this application. It's able to stand downstairs, pop the breaker in the breaker panel box, and was able to tell actually it was the next breaker up. And so I know that we don't have any power coming to it now. Just for giggles, just check it with that one and make sure, and it's all good. Well, let's pop off the cover, and really only one screw holding it on here. As you can see, it falls down like that. Well, let's talk about why did this break like this? Why did that? You can see how loose it is. Well, the problem is that this bead board, and they call it bead board because of these little bead grooves in here, was added to the bathroom later on. And typically, the tabs on a receptacle or on an outlet sit up here, and so when you screw it back like that, that'll take. But if we tighten it up too far back, then our outlet cover won't fit correctly. And I see this all the time, even like on home shows, on little DIY stuff, where people do tile backsplash or whatever, and the outlet sits way behind the receptacle cover. And so you want this to be flush out here with the finished wall. So just a real quick, easy tip to get that fixed. Well, if you just try to go in here and just put a new outlet cover, one that's not broken, you're just going to wind up with the same problem. You're just kind of like, as they say, putting lipstick on a pig. Well, we want to fix the problem. Well, the problem is that obviously it's because of this finished wall. And how do you fix that problem? With little plastic spacers. This is from Gardner Bender, and they're spacers, and they're switch and receptacle spacers, and that's all you need is to fix your problem there. So let's look at it from in here. From here, we'll just take a Phillips screwdriver and run these screws out from in here. Just pop that up there like that, and from in here, We may have a little problem getting this out, but won't be a big deal. And we stick our finger here and just grab the outlet. And there's some extra wire in there, so we're just gonna pull it out this way and from in here. And everything looks good in there. I just wanna make sure that mice hadn't built anything up in there like that. Now here's a little tip. Here's a little tip that you want to do. If this was a standard outlet, and this is a ground fault outlet, so they're a lot bigger. And this is an older home, and new homes, it's got a blue plastic box, and that's good because you know, you don't want, in older homes, they have metal boxes, and of course, that's the lead side, and that's hot. And a lot of times, if that outlet is loose, it'll make contact with the metal box and then arc, and hopefully your breaker downstairs will flip or trip the breakers, they call it. One thing that you can do, if it is an older home with metal boxes inside, you can take electrical tape and just wrap it around and make sure that you cover both sides. That way, if it does come loose again, that won't be a problem. Now, let's get back to fixing our situation. What I'm going to do is take a couple of these spacers, probably just two, and they have little tabs on them, and so you just stick it in like that. And so what I'm trying to do is build out the thickness of the wall, and that looks about right. And so I can just take it and slide this over the screw from in here, just like that, and then that'll pop into place and it will stay. And that way, when I tighten it back up, these spacers will allow this to now be flush out here so that everything works correctly. I think I'm just going to do 3 on here. So I've gone back and I've added actually 4 spacers back here. Sometimes you have to go and buy longer screws for here, because if you add too many spacers. But the big thing is that it's nice and snug there. I mean, I'm pulling on it pretty hard, and so that means it'll go in there. I put this cover on just to test it and see. It's kind of, you know, proud, or it sticks out a little bit, and that's exactly how you want it. And that way this cover will never ever crack again, because it cracked once again because this was too far back and it was loose, and so those spacers solved that problem. Now, I'm pretty funny about like sticking with the core and making sure everything looks the same, and as always, it doesn't look like it's an addition. I did notice that in this bathroom that the outlet covers, that the switch covers here are what are called screwless. Typically there would be 3 screws up here, and also over here on the timer for the light and the fan in the shower, you see there are no screws. So we're going to put the same thing, that way everything kind of is uniform and everything kind of looks good and the same. So this just pops on like a regular cover. Just a couple simple screws there. Hopefully this is going to work. Famous last words. Top popped in. And there goes the bottom. That looks good. Okay. And then this from here just pops on, just like that. Click, and we're good to go. Let's give it a test. From here. And see how that plugs in now? One more wiggling around. So, there it is. Nice receptacle fix. Sawdust Dude, another payday. It's always a good day to get paid, all right? So, hey, thanks for watching the Sawdust Dude. Check us out online, YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the like button, all that other cool stuff. Tell your friends, tell your grandmama, tell everybody, the Sawdust Dude. I'll see you soon.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, we'll record.
Am I pretty yet?